Well, NASCAR just announced that they're postponing the Clash once again, making it 2 times in 3 years that the season opening Clash has been postponed due to weather. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Talkin NASCAR. I am your host, Andrew. Bittersweet news out of NASCAR earlier today, actually, very, very recently, actually. NASCAR had just announced that the NASCAR season opening Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium has been postponed to Wednesday, February 4th, and due to the historic winter storm that has hit Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and overall North Carolina as a state, it has been unprecedented the amount of snow that that state has received. And I actually looked at some of the snow numbers. Like, even some of the totals are crazy compared to like what Wisconsin gets overall. Like, the snow that overall the state has gotten on average, like, uh, even my city would be shut down for at least a day. Cause like, oh, like 20 inches in some areas, like, that is just unbelievable. I can't believe it that how much snow they've gotten. Like, that's nearly 2 feet of snow. That is, and I live in Wisconsin, guys. I live up north. Like, 20 inches, are you kidding me? Especially for North Carolina, that is absolutely insane. Like, I'm honestly starting to feel sorry for those of you that live in North Carolina, because like, yeah, like, Carolina is just overall in general. Because I mean, like, you've been hit with this snowstorm now, and it wasn't all too long ago that you had the Hurricane Helene. Like, man, you guys just can't catch a break over there. So, wishing the best of luck to all you guys that are in that area if you've been affected heavily, that you'll be able to recover and get back on your feet as soon as possible. But holy cow, that like 20 inches is absolutely insane. So, once again, the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium has been rescheduled to Wednesday, February 4th. The last chance qualifier is scheduled for 4:30 p.m. The practice and qualifying sessions, which will set the grid for the main show, with the drivers that do not make it heading over to the last chance qualifier. And the Cookout Clash will begin at 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox, and it will be on MRN and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, broadcasting the entirety of the Cookout Clash. It still blows my mind, like, how many times NASCAR and their Clash has been just impacted by weather so many times. Like, NASCAR already postponed this event to Monday, to tomorrow, February 2nd, with similar times. And they first canceled the heat races, moved everything to Sunday, and now we were moving it to Monday, and they still had no heat races. Everything was just gonna happen in one day, and now they're postponing it again to Wednesday just to all the snow. So, I mean, it wasn't too long ago that the final Clash at the LA Memorial Coliseum was moved back an entire day, like moved up to Saturday because of impending rain. I mean, NASCAR just can't catch a break with some of their new events. I remember Mexico City had a lot of rain. I also remember, I think North Wilkesboro had like historic flooding, which was unbelievable as well. So NASCAR just can't catch a break when it comes to new events that they have going on. I guess the Clash at Bowman Gray isn't new, but you get what I mean. I mean, it's fairly new. It's only in its second year, but man, they really just can't catch a break. Should have never left Daytona. Am I right? All right. Anyways, let's continue on with this episode. I've missed some news from this past week. I was hoping to make an episode in the last couple of days. I was in the state capital of Madison, Wisconsin on a little bit of a trip for school. So I was not able to record anything. I wanted to record yesterday, but I couldn't find the time. So I'm here catching up all the news that I have missed. So starting off with Garage 66, actually talking about the Clash once again. Garage 66 announced that Chad Fincham will be competing in the Cookout clashed at Bowman Gray Stadium in the number 66 car for Carl Long. He'll be attempting to make the show. I don't expect anything. Again, probably the slowest car out there. They're still looking for a sponsor, I'm pretty sure, to be on board Chad Fincham's car, but we'll see how Chad Fincham does. Last year, Garage 66, I'm pretty sure, entered the clash with Garrett Smithley, and they almost made the show, but came up just a little bit short. But we'll see how they do this year. Moving on, we got some other big news from NASCAR this week regarding this year's 2026 schedule and beyond, or at least for this foreseeable future. The Charlotte Roval is no longer on the schedule. NASCAR will be transitioning from the Charlotte Roval back to the Charlotte Oval for the new chase format. So this is a interesting move by NASCAR. I'm kind of confused why they didn't just announce that they would be going back to the Oval. I mean, maybe the impending change to the championship format had something to do with it. If they were going to go back to the or continue with the playoff format, they needed a road course. But now with the chase format being back in session, it makes sense that they're willing to change it back to the Charlotte Oval instead of the Roval. In my opinion, at this current point in NASCAR, I do like this move for its face value. For the next gen car on the Cup Series side of things, the Roval was just simply not working. It took a lot of changes for the next gen car to work at that Charlotte Roval racetrack. I'm not saying it's a bad track. I think it's one of the most unique tracks on the schedule, and I think it's actually one of my favorite, if I'm going to be honest. I think it's a really cool venue. I think it really is. But it was blatantly obvious to me that the Charlotte Roval and frankly many road courses on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule do not fit the need of the sport, and they do not mesh well with the next gen car right now. The next gen car performs way better on mile and a half racetracks, which is what the Charlotte Oval is. So now with this move, I think it's an upgrade. The Chase gets another oval. The only problem is it doesn't have a road course, so it's going to be less diverse for the drivers, but I still like the move, at least for this season. I think next year, though, we definitely need a road course in the Chase for at least one. Just we need one to really kind of balance it out. On the other hand, I think this does allow NASCAR to be a little bit more creative with their schedule. I personally am not a big fan of moving Watkins Glen out of the playoffs and out of later in the season. I really liked Watkins Glen later in the season. I think Watkins Glen would be a great race to have in the in the chase potentially. I also think that maybe having some other road courses, maybe add Road America back on, I think could be a fun move. Adding them back onto the schedule, I think that this could be a potential opportunity for another road course to open up, maybe like a Chicago Street race potentially returning. Who knows? I'm also thinking this is a sign that NASCAR is willing to get rid of road courses or scale back on them a little bit more. So I would definitely like to see maybe the road courses shuffle around a little bit, like maybe move Sonoma from the summer up into the early spring, because I think Sonoma in the green would look really, really pretty instead of kind of like the dusty and like cloudy and dead kind of under the harsh California sun that we currently have right now. And maybe Watkins Glen moves into the chase and we get another road course like Road America. Again, Road America needs to be back on the schedule. Us Wisconsin people, we love motorsports. We really do. I mean, the dirt racing is a big thing up here. All the late models, the midgets, sprint cars, everything. Now that the mile is hosting races again, it's great. I mean, the mile NASCAR should come back to the mile. I'm just saying it. I mean, we got IndyCar back here at the mile next year. IndyCar is also going to going to Road America next year. IMSA's having a 24-hour long distance race at Road America. So please, NASCAR, look to add Road America back onto the schedule or continue with your theme of going back to the roots of older short tracks. The Milwaukee Mile is the oldest oval in America right now, built in 1928. Like, come on, just come back to the Milwaukee Mile, please. And not to mention, the NASCAR removing the Charlotte Roval from the schedule means they just have an extra road course in their back pocket. And what if they don't have a deal that's ready to come through with maybe a Montreal or Canadian Tire Motorplex? Like, that's another road course that could be added. I think that could be kind of fun. Return to Canada. NASCAR has the Charlotte Roval readily and available. Like, maybe once every couple of years, they add it back onto the schedule because they wanna be less aggressive with the schedule, or they can't get a deal to go through, so they are saying like, "Alright, we're pursuing this road course. If it doesn't work, we have the Charlotte Roval on standby." I think that's a great move for NASCAR, so anyway, all salt branding, well, let's get on with the episode, let's move on. Let's move over to the Daytona side of things for NASCAR. First, Corey Heim and 2311 Racing have announced that Corey Heim will be attempting to make this year's Daytona 500 in the number 67 Toyota Camry for 2311 Racing with support from Robinhood. It is expected that Robinhood will also be helping 2311 Racing support a part-time schedule this year for Corey Heim in the NASCAR Cup Series. So this will be Corey Heim's first shot at it. I said my predictions about who I think will make the Daytona 500, and I don't think Corey Heim and 2311 Racing are gonna get in. I just don't think they have the experience that other teams do, like BJ McLeod, guys like that. I think the experience will outweigh what Corey Heim needs and has right now to make the Daytona 500, but good luck to Corey. We'll see how he does in the duels, in qualifying, and we'll see if he can make the main field for the Daytona 500. Moving on, Nice Motorsports announced that their only full-time driver this year will be Andres Perez de Lara in the number 44 truck, who has landed a major sponsor in Acceptance Insurance. Andres Perez, last year was his rookie season in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He split his time last year between Spire Motorsports and Nice Motorsports in the number 44 Chevrolet. Was not a great year for Andres Perez de Lara, but I have full confidence in him, and I am a very big fan of him and his talent. He's a former ARCA Menard Series champion, so I do think he can thrive in NASCAR. The Truck Series may not be it for him, but I still have a lot of faith in him that he can still do very well, and I think he could make the chase potentially this year. I think it's a hot take, but I have faith in Andres Perez. We'll see how he does this year in his first full season with these motorsports. He's already had some time to get acclimated with the team. It's just gonna have to wait and see how well he does do. So with that, Nice Motorsports has set their full-time lineup for this season. They have the 42 truck with Tyler Reif so far, or Tyler Reif, I think it might be, and Travis Pastrana also in that truck. I think more drivers will be announced for that 42 truck. Andres Perez in the 44, and then in the 45, Landon Lewis, Ross Chastain, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I believe they will have more drivers in that 45 truck as well. Guys like Bailey Curry, Matt Mills could also be candidates for races to fill out races for that team this season. And Nice Motorsports will have a part-time truck, the number 4 truck. It will be essentially the number 41 truck from last year, but it will be transitioning over to the number 4. I do also think that Connor Jones will be running some races. I think in the 42 truck, I'm pretty sure, maybe the 45. I don't exactly remember which truck he's going to be racing in, but I do know Connor Jones will also be involved with this team in some capacity this season. We also got some Truck Series Daytona news. First, John Hunter Nemechek will be driving for Halmar Friesen Racing in the number 62 truck. This will be John Hunter's first Truck Series race since 2022 when he was full-time with Kyle Busch Motorsports in the number 4 truck, I'm pretty sure. So he'll be getting support from DriveValue.com. He'll be driving for that team and with Bruce Cook as his crew chief. John Nemechek, he's a former Truck Series winner, almost won a Truck Series championship, so he knows how to drive trucks. We'll see how he does with Halmar Friesen Racing. He'll be racing alongside Stuart Friesen, so we'll just have to wait and see how they do at Daytona. And along with that, Henderson Motorsports announced that Corey LaJoie will be leading them into Daytona. He'll be driving the number 75 Henderson Motorsports Chevrolet. Chris Carrier will once again be the crew chief. And this is definitely one of the most interesting teams in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. They have been very competitive in the races that they show up to. Last year, they crossed the finish line first at Daytona with Parker Kligerman leading the way, but ended up being disqualified for for a ride height violation. And they've also had Stephen Parsons last year, and Stephen Parsons was very solid in his starts. Interesting that he isn't getting any races right now, which is very sad to see. And now you have Corey LaJoie, a guy that can truly drive. He can really drive on super speedways. We really know that. And with Henderson Motorsports being one of the better part-time truck series teams, we'll see how they do. But I'm expecting good things from this partnership between Henderson and Corey LaJoie. And then Carson Hocevar will also be driving the Truck Series race at Daytona in the number 77 truck for Spire Motorsports. So this means Spire Motorsports will have no full-time drivers this season. All two of their full-time trucks this year will be a rotating seat of drivers. So the 7 truck already has Michael McDowell and Connor Mozak. Mozak is most likely to be the guy that will run the majority of the races. He'll run 12 races. I could see that number going up for Connor Mozak. And then these number 77 truck, I imagine they're going to find a bunch of guys to fill that seat up with. Now let's move up to the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. So we had a very interesting report come out only a couple days ago. AM Racing announced that they will be returning to the O'Reilly Auto Parts series as their transaction and sale of AM Racing over to Sigma Performance Services Racing was never finalized. So the number 25 of AM Racing will return this season as they will continue to possibly shift that team over to Sigma Performance Services. We have a statement from the number 25 team in AM Racing saying, quote, "In November of 2025, an acquisition of AM Racing was announced. While the transaction ultimately was not finalized, AM Racing will move forward independently and remain committed to competition in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. The organization will build upon its existing foundation for the upcoming season with driver and team announcements forthcoming." So yeah, being it so late in the off season, I imagine it'll be hard for AM Racing to find a full-time driver after Harrison Burton has left. There are definitely names out there. I could think of Nick Sanchez could be a guy could be in the running for this seat full time, but again, sponsorship, that process can take up to weeks, if not months. So I imagine that AM Racing will just have a rotating door of drivers, mostly Ford drivers. I do believe they will be running Fords this year. They did say independently, but I'm not going to really read too much into that. We also got a statement from the owner of Sigma Performance Services, Joe Ferre, I believe is how I say his name correctly. He said, quote, "We are proud of the work that we did in assembling an incredible team of people, resources, and technical partners, and we are confident in the integrity of that plan and the people involved. We are working closely with AM Racing Leadership Group to support the smooth transition of these operations, and we are confident in their ability to deliver the quality and integrity of the plan and to deliver the results that this team of partners deserves." Also, according to Joe Fare, I don't know how to say his last name, guys. I'm sorry. That Sigma Performance Services will continue to focus its efforts on Arca Menard Series programs and its late model programs, and will be relocating their facilities to into North Carolina shortly to help smooth out this transaction. Yeah, this is very interesting. I don't know what to really think of it. I don't have a lot of information on this besides this. Obviously, there must have been an issue with the process. Maybe they were running behind schedule. I guess that's what it's got to be. I mean, obviously, we're very late into the season, so like something must have gone awry. So, uh, I don't really understand what's going on. Like I think it might be an issue with Sigma Performance Services. Like maybe they had an issue with this transition, but I'm not really not sure. I don't know what to read about this. And staying with the O'Reilly Auto Parts series for a couple more moments, Hettinger Racing, one of Ford's newest teams for 2026, announced that Luke Fenhouse will be debuting for this team, and at Daytona he'll be their first driver, and Joe Williams Jr. will be the crew chief of the number 5 Hettinger Racing Ford. So Luke Fenhouse, Wisconsin kid, great late model racer, great short track racer overall, has performed really well in ARCA, and he also performed really well in his limited starts with Thorsport last year in the number 66. Was extremely consistent. So we'll see how Luke Fenhouse does. A little bit of a transition from the O'Reilly Auto Parts series to the Truck series, but I'm excited to see what Luke Fenhouse can do behind the wheel of a O'Reilly Auto Parts series car that apparently is getting really good support from Ford. So we'll see how Hettinger Racing does at Daytona. Now we move on to some other news that was very interesting in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. A recent document that was released about the ownership changes in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series was revealed and revealed some new teams that are going to be starting up. So, if you don't know what the owners' points are, it essentially is the point standings that pay the bills for the NASCAR team. So at the end of the season, the team with the most owners points at the end of the season will receive a extra bonus in cash. Every team does receive a bonus from those standings. It's just greater based on where you finish in points. So we got some new entries that are popping up on this owner sheet. First, Alpha Prime Racing is I guess, is having a new car starting up in 2026, the number 43 car. So that was interesting to see. Sam Hunt Racing has apparently a new car, the number 84 this season. Jordan Anderson Racing has another new car, another new entry, the number 23. They have run the 23 before, I'm pretty sure. Actually, excuse me. Our Motorsports has run the number 3 a couple times over the last couple years, but now Jordan Anderson Racing has the number. Joe Gibbs Racing also has a new car, the number 11. Now that Calling Racing has stepped out of the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, now Joe Gibbs Racing is taking over that number. So, could Denny Hamlin be a potential candidate? I don't know. I think that's a very interesting question. Besides that, there's also two other new entries for two new teams. First is the number 80 car for PK plus K Racing. I um I don't know who that team is. Hold on, I actually gotta do some research real quick. Yeah, I after doing like a couple minutes of research, I could not find anything on PK plus K Racing. I really just can't. PK, could that be Parker Clearman? Like, could that be Parker? Like, I find that I don't find that very likely. I don't find it likely that Parker Kligerman's gonna, you know, out of nowhere just have a brand new team. So, like, that's the only thing I have going for me. So, yeah, PK plus K Racing. I believe they're racing Chevys, number 80 car. We'll see how they do. And the final entry is the number 15 of Hettinger Racing. That's a new part-time entry for that team. So they're gonna have two cars on a part-time basis, or at least a second car on a part-time basis. So we'll see how that team does or who they put in that car. And on the truck series side of things, we have the new teams, obviously, of Calling Racing with the number 25 truck. We also had some changes of ownership between Spire and Calling and McAnally Hogeman to allow them to get their truck series operations started. We also had a partnership between Caleb Costner's new team and Cook Technologies Racing to help Caleb Costner get his team started. But there was a couple also, new teams that are starting up. First, Halmer Friesen has a new team, the number 51 truck. I wonder how that's gonna look. Number 51 Toyota truck, that is, maybe driven by a certain, Toyota driver, maybe. I'm looking at Kyle Busch Motorsports real quick. I'm also seeing that McAnally Hogeman Racing has a new truck, the number 20 truck. So Young's Motorsports is probably dropping a team there, which is a change in ownership once again. It looks like maybe Young's Motorsports may be dropping out of the Craftsman Truck Series because they did change a lot of their numbers to help Calling start up their program. And one final Truck Series team that is new, the number 03 of Afferrano Motorsports. I've never heard of them. Okay, so I found it. It is Mike Afferrano Motorsports, owned by Mike Afferrano. They last competed or attempted to make a Truck Series race back in 2020 during the pandemic, but failed to do so. Their last successful entry into into a race was back in 2019. So it does look like the team could be making a return. So very, very interesting. So obviously they're a team that has stuck around for a little bit. They did run some O'Reilly Auto Parts Series races back before the pandemic, but it has been a little while since they have competed. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see if they'll even show up for races because we've seen this happen before with teams that are saying that they're going to show up, but they never do. So, yeah, we'll see how this rumor goes or like where this takes us, but we'll have to wait and see. But now let's end this episode with one more story. I have to talk about Team Penske real quick because they have announced that they have rehired Tim Cindric to be a race strategist on their IndyCar program. So Tim Cindric is the father of NASCAR Cup Series driver Austin Cindric, who drives the number 2 car for Team Penske in the Cup Series. he was actually fired from the team last year at around the time of the Indy 500 after some shocking scandals were revealed about that team in IndyCar for Team Penske. So it was a very, very tense situation for that team. So he's now back with the team as a race strategist. So I kind of saw that and was thinking, huh, what does this mean for Austin Cindric now that his father is back working in the building? We thought all the same thing or something similar when Tim Cindric was first fired. We were not sure what this would mean for the future of Austin Cindric. We did not know if this meant that he was not as secure. Like, I don't think that Austin Cindric by any means is still very secure in that seat, but I would have to think now that with his father being with the team in some capacity, he's going to have some level of some kind of, authority in that team, and he's going to help that his son Austin keep a ride, because nepotism in NASCAR does go a long way. I mean, look at Austin Dillon and Ty Dillon. Their grandfather of Richard Childress owns a race team. Austin races for that team, and Ty Dillon, he still gets race rides. Has a good relationship with sponsors. Ty Gibbs, probably the most notable one. He is full-time racing for his grandfather, Joe Gibbs, in the number 54 car. Now, again, do I think this protects Austin Cindric at all from being replaced this upcoming year? No, I don't think absolutely not. I think Roger Penske is going to hold Cindric accountable, and Austin Cindric, in my opinion, has not done enough to justify him keeping his ride in the NASCAR Cup Series with Team Penske. I think that Austin Cindric is a NASCAR Cup Series driver. I think he is. It's just he's not Team Penske material. I think that he could potentially be a Richard Childress Racing type of driver, maybe a Rick Ware Racing type of driver. Like, I know that's kind of degrading to say, but I'm just saying the truth. That's my truthful opinion on Austin Cindric, but he is definitely, at this current moment, not a Team Penske material driver. Maybe like a Calling Racing type of driver, but he is definitely not a Team Penske material driver right now. He could always change that opinion. He could always change it, but what I've seen so far has not been inspiring, to say the least. But hey, maybe his dad returning to the team will light a little bit of a fire under Austin Cindric's car. Maybe we'll see some extra speed pop out of that number 2 Ford Mustang this season. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Again, make sure to tune into the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium. It will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. For me, it'll be 5 p.m. Central Time. So I'm going to have to record that because I believe I will be at basketball practice, so we'll have to wait and see on that part there. But anyways, that'll do it for this episode, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you're listening on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss another episode. It would really help me out. And make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss another upload on that show. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this right now, make sure you follow and share it with your friends. Get this show growing, people. Let's go. And make sure you follow so you don't miss another upload as usual. So you'll find the links to the Spotify page and the YouTube channel page down in the description below. And if you like what I'm doing over here, go check out Talking Sports with Miles and Andrew, the show I co-host with my buddy Miles. We talk about sports overall, not just NASCAR, so baseball, football, basketball, a little bit of tennis actually, a little bit of hockey as well. So go check it all out. It will be linked down in the description down below to the YouTube page and the Spotify page as well. But that'll do it for me, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you very, very soon, most likely for a Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium recap. So I will see you then, everyone. Have a great rest of your day and a great start to your week.